And welcome into another episode of Tiger Territory, part of the Foul Territory Network, a Detroit Tigers podcast. I'm Kieran Steckley. We got Austin Jackson. We got Cody Stavenhagen. And we got a baseball team to talk about, gentlemen, that is in sole possession of the best record in Major League Baseball. And yes, it's the Detroit Tigers. The Detroit Tigers have the best record in Major League Baseball as of recording right now. Feels weird to say, but after a exhilarating 3-game series against the Bosten Red Sox, that's where we're at, guys. That's where we're at. The Tigers, as Austin put in the call last time he was here, and they are.
Yes, we ain't tripping. We already knew what we was talking about. Like, we're not even worried about that. We already knew that this was gonna happen. We just trying to figure out if it's gonna keep going. So we already knew this was gonna happen. We ain't surprised. Come on,
man. What a series, man. Like we were talking last time, the Javi Baez game, was that the most exciting game since when, But that whole series, I think it was Justin Henry Malloy said it felt like the playoffs, and it kind of did. Something about it. I think just the weight that was kind of on each pitch. You had two teams. I mean, the Red Sox are, they have their drama going on. They're not playing as well as they would like to be, but they do a lot of things well. Like, it was two teams that were not really giving each other an inch, and I think you could feel that, every pitch throughout the course of especially those final two games.
Man, the Reds. Hey, listen, that team. You said that they're not playing as well, but that's a team over there. Those guys can play.
I agree.
They got some defensive, guys that can play defense over there. They swung the bats well, and it was just fun to see like that playoff type environment with both of the teams, really. And to see how the Tigers responded to, a little bit of pressure that was put on them. That's what I'm most curious about seeing with this team, is how they can respond to that pressure. Man, they answered all the calls to me. And I like that when, the pressure was on them, they stayed the same team. They stayed the same team. At any given moment, any guy could step up there and get the job done, man. And that's the type of playoff team that you're going to be looking forward to. So,
yeah, I'm kind of a sycophant in some ways, and I went and listened to like a bunch of Red Sox centric podcasts to kind of see what they're saying, and they're voicing like a lot of frustration with how the team you throw away Monday's game because sometimes S happens, right? You throw away Monday's game, but you come back and you blow it on Tuesday, and then you come back and you can't add on Wednesday, and then you eventually lose in a second consecutive walk-off. And they're really frustrated because they view, I think rightfully so, that the Red Sox are capable of doing some real damage in the American League. And, we make a crochet trade, crochet trade. That's fun to say real quick. And then you sign Bregman. Those are the kind of expectations that you have. And so they're looking at it as a loss. It's still, they're still not necessarily looking at the Tigers as like this measuring stick, and that's okay. It is still early May, but the connections, one of the things that I love is the connections that these two franchises have as presently constructed, because you have the obvious AJ Hinch mentor and student with Alex Cora, and then you have the Joey Cora, his brother, element as well. There's the Bregman piece, which is a twofold: one, connection to AJ Hinch; two, was it 98% of the time, Cody? 99% of the time
98%.
I thought I was going to be in Detroit, and proved that he can hit in Comerica Park, by the way. 2 home runs that cleared the bullpen, so not for nothing. And then just like what you said, Cody, like they actually try to put pressure on the other team in a lot of similar ways, again, because they probably come from very much the same school of baseball. So it was a lot of fun to watch. I think the number one takeaway I had was you get the sweep, and that's the headline, and that feels real good. But it's not like you got everything that you did worked out perfectly. Like the AJ Hinch puppet master element that was kind of going around on MLB Network this week, because a lot of the moves he made, pitching chaos day, and then even on Wednesday, they didn't work as intended, and that's okay. That's part of it. That you have to be able to, I don't want to say overcome, like he made a mistake, but you have to be able to move on from that and still find ways to win, in which they did both Tuesday and Wednesday, because we have to mention it. Your best pitching performance, arguably, of the week, did it arguably, with respect to Tarek Skubal, did it come from Jackson Jobe on a day that you had Skubal and a pitching chaos day? Did you get the best from Jackson Jobe? Could the argument be made? Because we didn't get a chance to talk about it. He only had to go 5 2/3, but he had 3 hits, 1 run, 7 strikeouts. He did walk 5, and obviously it was a non-competitive game early on. But that was a performance that in any other circumstance we'd probably be doing a lot of talking about, and it kind of got lost in the shadow of everything. So I did want to at least give him credit, even if he didn't pitch quite as well as Tarek Skubal.
Yeah, I think Skubal still had the best performance of the week. He punched out 11. It was kind of strange how quickly things unraveled on him, and then Holton came in, allowed a couple of inherited runners to score. Like, there's a world where that line score reads a lot differently. Jackson Jobe start, though, I do think elements of it were the best yet, even though you don't like seeing that 5 walks, but you can almost just see and feel him learning how to use his stuff, learning how to sequence. I think that was probably the best he's had 4 pitches going in one outing. Like, he was attacking hitters in different ways. The changeup was there, mixed in the curve a little bit with some success. Beginning to command. I know he walked 5 guys, but in spurts, he's commanding the fastball really well. Like, that seemed the best his full arsenal kind of meshed together from what I picked up.
Yeah, I mean, the kid is. I think that rest did him a little good. I think we can all agree. But in regards to Skubal, man, I mean, even though I guess it wasn't the best outing that we see, because we're normally just used to seeing him dominate, right? But games are going to go like that sometimes. Sometimes they're going to get a little weird, and guys are going to start stringing some hits together. Guys are going to get the bat head out and clap one, but the resilience of this baseball team right here to say, all right, y'all got our guy, but we're not down and out. Like, we can still put together these type of at bats, and I'm speaking, specifically about this Tigers lineup and the grittiness of this lineup. The way that they're able to manufacture these runs and just wear pitchers down. You get to see this lineup 2 or 3 times. About time you get to that 3rd time seeing this team, they're going to get to you. And there was some balls hit hard earlier before that, but again, when you get to them about the 3rd time, they're going to get to you, and that's what they did. They were able to wear down a pitcher. They were able to pick up so much information within those first couple innings or first times facing them, and then they just warmed down, got runners in scoring position. This is the type of baseball that I think that we enjoy seeing this team play on a day in and day out basis.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about that mentality and the buy-in element of that with you guys. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Sometimes we get the asks for lightweight hoodies, and I'm like, they exist. They're awesome at Rhoback.
Without a doubt. Comfort, lightweight, durability. I wear these all the time. The color schemes are absolutely phenomenal.
Go check it out. You can use the code FOUL on Rhoback.com for 20% off your first purchase. That's FOUL on RHOBACK.com. 20% off all shorts, hoodies, polos, and more. Go check out Rhoback.
All right, so coming back here, I wanted to, because Cody, you wrote about this. It's on The Athletic. You're a subscriber. You guys can go read that. A lot of the mentality stuff, it has kind of come up. It comes up every day, but maybe that's also the point, because you come to this Boston series after dropping disappointingly 2 against the Texas Rangers, a team that was able to hit off you, a team that has not been able to hit the ball all that well leading up to that series. And if there was, I don't want to say like adversity or whatever, but if there was a time that kind of like things could spiral, it would be the Boston Red Sox also coming into town. And then it was quickly apparent in that Monday game that wasn't going to happen. Combine the emotions of Tuesday, combine the thrill of Wednesday. Like, it just really does seem like it's gotten to the point. Let me phrase it like this: it's gotten to the point where I almost feel like does AJ Hinch like? Does he come up with new ways to say the same thing every time? Because it seems like you just have to ask him the questions about like the 27 outs and the everybody is available to be used in every situation and buy-in and all that stuff. And you've been around baseball a while, Cody. Obviously, Austin, you've been in plenty of clubhouses. Like there's a difference between fake buy-in and real buy-in, and this has to be an example of some of the realest buy-in that I can observe from afar, just based on everybody being on the same page. I'm curious what you guys think about that.
I want to hear
the
Austin
buy-in
on
is
this one.
real. The buy-in is real. I mean, it's the proof is if you need to look any further to how real the buy-in is, just watch the games. Like if you watch the games, you can tell the at bats that this lineup is they're able to string together. I just see this patience with this team. They wear a pitcher down. It's like a boxing match where a guy is he's just waiting for his moment to strike. He's just hitting you with little blows here, and then boom, 9 runs. You're like, whoa, like how do I recover from that? How do I recover from that kidney shot that he just hit me with, in the third? Now it's we in the 6th. I'm like, yo, I'm still feeling that kidney blow that he hit me with. This team wears pitchers down. I think we talked about that before, how they're able to just wear a pitcher down, get his pitch count up. And you see it up and down the lineup. Guys are battling pitches, and then they get a pitch to hit and they don't miss it. That is the sign of a team, players that have bought into this mentality. Guys aren't being selfish. Guys aren't going up there looking to hit the home run. He knows that his guy behind him, his teammate behind him, can come up and do the same thing that he's capable of doing. If he's not giving me anything to hit, then why am I going to try to be the hero right here when I know my guy behind me has my back? That's what it looks like to me when I'm watching these games. That's what's exciting to watch. Like you want to be like a part of that. Like I'm bought into it. Like I watch it, I'm like, I'm bought into that. He has constructed this team so beautifully that it's like, dude, you have to buy in. If you're a fan, Tigers fan, you got to buy into it because it's real. And if, like I said, if you need to look any further than these the games are showing you that this team and this mentality, this grittiness that this team plays with, it's a real thing. And it doesn't matter if it's your first year or you got 10 years in the big leagues. Everybody is buying into that. And it starts with Mr. A.J. Hinch himself.
Kieran, the Rangers did take 2 or 3 in Detroit, but the Rangers made a change at hitting coach. They hired Brett Boone recently, kind of out of nowhere. I wrote a story about this, some of my national coverage for The Athletic. I was talking to Brett Boone, and some of the things he was saying just kept reminding me of the Tigers. The Rangers wanted a former player, an established former player, almost to bring some old school back to their style of play. They have this slug-oriented lineup and some big names, but they'd gotten away. Listen to Bruce Bochy talk. They'd gotten away from playing to the scoreboard, from playing the game. They were chasing slug and hoping those homers come and blah blah blah. Well, Brett Boone's here to play to the scoreboard, move a guy over here. You want to know what to do? Watch the game. You want to know how to attack a pitcher? Go talk to the guy who's just in the box. All very simple, older school things, but things the Tigers have come to do really well. And the Tigers, I think, are pretty modern and analytical in their approaches and how they prepare. But they went through this. There was a point last year where AJ Hinch was saying some of the same things, like these young hitters, you have to learn not to worry so much about oh, did I get my A swing off? You have to worry about playing the game, playing to the scoreboard. So it was another thing that took some time. But somewhere last year, that switch really flipped and the hitters do this. And I think there are other teams out there almost looking at this as a little bit of a model because they're saying, wait, if the Tigers can do what they're doing with Andy Ibanez and Justin Henry Malloy, why are we not doing that with, ex-players we have who on paper maybe are more talented? I mean, I don't think there's any more Tigers moment than Andy Ibanez stealing second, that was called from the dugout. but Aroldis Chapman wasn't paying any attention to him, and he was going big leg kick, taking his time to home plate. Andy Ibanez had all of 8 career stolen bases in the major leagues. Here you go. We got a guy who's throwing 102. It's the 9th inning. We're sending you. He steals the base easily. Ball goes into center field. He gets on third, sets up the Hinch single. Like, I don't know. For some reason, that's become this trait that's like almost unique to the Tigers, and we see little instances of it every single night.
One of those Boston podcasts, they were going live during the game, and I fast forwarded to the Hinch single, and one of the guys was like, "Look, if Malloy beats us, like I'm gonna be expletive. Well, Malloy beat your ass, and you're gonna have to deal with it because
gotta walk to work.
Yeah, I mean,
gotta walk to work, buddy. See you in your robe. Go ahead, suit up in the morning. See you at work.
but like Jahan in some ways is like, I don't think AJ actually views like somebody as end of the bench, but like in some ways, and based on his usage and kind of what his role is, and what they ask him to do, he is sort of the quote unquote end of the bench guy. But I think everybody felt pretty confident that he was going to go up there and have himself a nice at bat. And he only gets that pitch because he is patient at the plate and he's Jahan at the plate and he gets it to a 2-0 count. You know what I mean? So like that, the end of the bench guy beats, one of the most intimidating closers of a generation. And if you're following this team throughout, it doesn't feel like that, like monumental of an occurrence. And I think that's probably one of the more beautiful aspects of what this team is doing, in my opinion.
It is beautiful because like you have to wonder like what are like how are you how are you buying into, like, what made you buy into that? Because we can talk about it all day, right? Like we can say, hey guys, you got to do this. This is what it takes to win. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm looking at my bag. It's kind of low. Y'all paying for home runs, and I need to, I'm trying to go up top, launch angles, spin rates, and all of this thing. But to get a team full of different egos, people from all over the place, to buy into that mentality and for it to go out there and translate on the field. I mean, I think it's one thing to talk about it, but then when guys start to go out there and it translates on the field, it has to do something in that clubhouse. There has to be something in that clubhouse that's going on that guys are like, yo, this is what it's going to take with this type of team we have. We don't have the stars, that all, some of these big prestigious teams have, some of these big these teams have. So with the group we have, we know, we're confident that if we play this type of baseball, we can play with any team out there. We can play with the team that has the big stars, the big pitchers, the big hitters. If we stick to this model right here, why can't we play with some of those teams? Okay, so what? You hit the 3-run home run, but we have a way that we manufacture those runs differently. We can get 9 runs back next inning with just playing this style of baseball where we don't have to worry about our main guy coming up here and hitting a 3-run home run or getting guys on base for him to hit. No, this guy can do it. Hey, Justin, go ahead and hop up here because we believe in you. The team believes in you. I mean, I was watching him on deck. I'm like, man, hey, yo, you know who's pitching right now, right? I didn't see anything that showed me that he wasn't ready for that moment. Like the first pitch he took, I'm like, yo, that's no flint. I'm flinching. I'm doing something. He took it, and then he's ready for it. Even Javier Baez, I love the way he stepped up there and was ready for the first pitch. He missed it. Hey, just barely missed it. But it's just that readiness. Like the guys are just ready. Like it's not about I'm trying to be the hero. Like this is what it takes. Like I need to be ready. If my number is called, I'm ready. And that's what happened. I mean, the guy you were saying, if he beats us, well, you don't know that this, like he's ready for this. He talked about it in his post-game interview. Like it's the preparation. Like these guys are prepared for these moments. And I truly believe it. I don't think it's just something guys are just saying just to say. I think that AJ has these boys believing that, hey, this is the style of baseball we play. This is the team we are. We don't have to look in on ESPN and see what all the highlights and all that. Forget all of that stuff. This is the type of baseball that wins games. Like you said, playing the way the scoreboard dictates that hey, I need to move this runner right here. Guys go up there and do that. You see that with the at-bats guys are having. Like, guys are moving runners over. Guys are taking short swings. And then, hey, when they get a pitch that they can drive, they drive it. That's what you're supposed to do. But it can't be every pitch of every at-bat. The game is going to dictate what the type of swing I'm going to go up here and take. And that's what you're seeing, man. And it's just impressive to watch. Like, I'm myself, I'm going to be honest. There are times where I'm like, all right, come on, man. Like, let me see. They have to, this might not work right now. And then they prove me wrong. I'm like, well, hey, I'm right. Like, I just need to believe in myself. Like, I'm seeing what I'm seeing, and I'm calling it while I'm calling it. It's right. These boys can play. And I'm telling you, it is super fun to watch. It's not fluky. It doesn't look fluky to me, guys. Like, come on now. This looks a lot different than I think a lot of people expected. So.
Well, one of the different aspects of the team from last year to this year, I think, is worth talking about, and we will do so after a word from our sponsors.
Hey, for the card collectors out there, you need to know about Arena Club. You can check out our showrooms. We've all got cards in there. You can buy, you can sell, you can trade, and you can rip packs. They're called slab packs, Kratz. And then what happens if you don't like what you pulled?
You get an instant offer. But before you get that instant offer, you can show your showroom around, kind of like when I used to put the cards in the sleeves and my buddies would come over and show them. Now, bang, show them on the phone. Instant offers right there if I need it.
Yep, that instant offer is for the estimated fair market value. Accept it on the spot. Acquire the best value for your money with slab packs, transparent checklists, and Arena Club's Slab Safe program. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, grading, or ripping packs, Arena Club is the safest, most trusted in the game. Right now, you can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/foul and use code FOUL. That's arenaclub.com/foul, code FOUL.
All right, coming back here, I think now's a good time to give some flowers a little bit to Gleyber Torres, and it's not like we've ignored him. I think we've all kind of recognized like what he's brought to the team, but I think it's still it looks better, I think, than I anticipated, and I'm not going to say that I followed every single at bat and play of his career, but I tend to follow the Yankees second most closely because that's where a lot of my extended family is from. So if I want to talk to him about baseball, I usually got to talk to him about the Yankees. So I tend to follow the Yankees a little bit, and I was well aware of his reputation amongst Yankee fans, and he's come in here and done nothing but been like the ultimate professional and given the Tigers some of the best quality at bats and honestly bat to ball, I should say, skills at the top of the order as consistently as anybody on this team right now. He's got a 130 OPS plus. He's hitting 289. He's almost a one WAR player right now, and that's with slightly negative defense. But the defense too, I think he made a fine play last night. The defense too has surprised me a little bit. He's obviously not a perfect player. You get a guy on a 1-year deal and a prove-it deal for reasons, and that's okay. But I think that the whole outlook of this team looks a lot different without Gleyber Torres, and there's an element of the Javier Baez part that, like, them together, I think has been a huge positive for both as well. So Gleyber doing his thing. I just think we got to give him his flowers, man, because I feel very good about having him at the top of the order, and honestly, pretty good about having him at second base.
Yeah, who you want it? You can have it because I'm ready.
Hey,
Look, man,
go for it. Go get it.
It's something about it, man. Like, it's this comfort, like watching him play. Like, so there was a play. I think it was against the Rangers, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. This heads up veteran type play where I think it was 2 outs. It was a ground ball hit to Sweeney. He threw it to Gleyber at second. And if you're watching it fast, I mean, there's no way. I didn't know that guy was safe or out. I didn't know what. But for him to not stop and like maybe a younger guy probably would have, well, he said he was out, but just the heads up play as a veteran to know like that was really quick right there. Knowing this is what I think that it was going on all in his head, by the way. I think that he processed all of this, what I'm about to say. I think that he was like, I don't know, that was pretty close. So, you're off the base over there. So I'm going to throw it to you just in case this dude is safe when they do the replay. You're out because I caught you slipping over there. Man, that was unreal. Like, I know that probably doesn't show up as like, oh my gosh, that was great. But man, that was unreal to still have the sense of being no, I got to keep this play going because if they do a replay right here, this guy might be safe because that was bang, bang. And if they show the replay and he's safe and I'm arguing with him like, oh, he was out and he runs around and scores, that it looks completely different. But him to stay in that play and then for them to get that rundown and then get 4 outs, man, that's incredible. And not only that, it is so like I watch him hit. And one thing is that it amazes me how I've seen different pitchers out of the stretch, out of the windup, variable different speeds to the plate. And the way he's still able to get his leg up on time is unreal. I wish I could do that. Like I don't know how he's mastered that to a guy still being out of the stretch, quick to the plate. And I've seen him switch it up though and go like to more of a foot down approach. And I think he got a base hit. I think it might have been in Colorado, but how he's able to do that is unreal. He reminds me, and I know a lot of Tigers fans will understand who I'm talking about. Omar Infante. It's something about this short swing, this direct path to the ball. Like he's so inside the ball, like you can't really fool him. Like he can hit all speed. He can hit fastballs up and in. He can hit a base hit to right field. Like it's unreal to watch. Like it's an art. Like it's almost like a lost art of guys being able to stay inside the ball and stay short like that. And then you hang him a pitch and you see what he's able to do. He's able to pull it with power. Against Boston, he lined out a few times. It was like, man, dude, that ball was hit well. And his average would look different if a couple of those balls are hit in different places. So, I mean, you talk about a veteran and the way he's able to impact this lineup. I think his style of play, the way he plays this game, it just meshes so much more, so much better with this Tigers lineup as opposed to a Yankees lineup where, you can kind of get overshadowed by doing things like that because of who? Because of Judge. Those things don't make as much sense and nobody appreciates that style of play as much. But over here, where this is the style of play that this is how we play the game of baseball, it fits so perfectly, man. And it is incredible to see how he's showing the world like, hey, I've been this type of player. Y'all just ain't been paying attention.
Yeah. There is something where Gleyber has rubbed off on the Tigers.
Yep.
And I think the Tigers have rubbed off on Gleyber Torres as well. Like, I've been watching this and I've just been this is the, both on the field and behind the scenes, this is the leader they have needed and lacked for a few years. But Gleyber wasn't necessarily perceived as that in New York. And it's probably because there was Aaron Judge and Stanton. Like, there were all these other guys in the clubhouse. He wasn't necessarily asked to be that guy. I imagine it was probably harder behind the scenes for him to be that vocal leader. Well, he comes here and he's one of the most experienced guys on the team. He plays on the team that has a very different play style. I think we talked about this before, but the whole extra bases taken thing, going first to third. The Yankees ranked dead last in that last year. Gleyber Torres was regarded as a bad base runner. That was just his reputation. That's what the numbers show. Well, he gets over to Detroit and he's taken the extra base 53.8% of the time. It's by far the highest rate of his career. All right, so he's bought into what the Tigers are doing. He is doing well. The defense kind of is what it is. He's not a great defensive second baseman, but like you said, like, he made some plays when it's mattered. They brought him here for the at-bat, the quality of the at-bat, and that was the one thing I knew was going to show up, and man, has it ever shown up. like the other things, I'm kind of when he went out and checked on Skubal on the mound, I think against Texas, and Skubal's like, feel my heartbeat. The next day we were talking to Gleyber and Skubal walks by and he's like, best mountain visit ever. So, all right, he's got the respect of Skubal. You're doing something right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it kind of reminds me now. It's not an apples to apples thing, so I don't want anyone to think I think of it that way. But it does remind me the way you talk about Torrey Hunter when he came to Detroit. I imagine the impact that Gleyber's having is similar to a lot of these young guys on the team, because like you'll bring up Torrey as much as anybody as some. So he must have had like quite an impact on you. So I mean, if you want to kind of expand on that and what Torrey meant to those Tiger teams, who obviously were better than what we expected coming into this season. But at the same time, he did make an on and off the field impact.
Well, I mean, with Torrey, we've all watched Torrey, all the highlights, the Spider-Man highlights, the highlights of him, robbing Bonds in the All-Star game and Bonds picking him up like a little rag doll. But, Torrey, man, he just brought this energy on a day-to-day basis that you can't really replicate that. You can try to. I tried to do some of those things in other clubs, but you just have that. You have that. That's something that's just embedded in you. And Torrey, obviously playing with him, he was more towards the end of his career. But again, he was a guy that no, I still can play this game. I can still play this game at a high level. So Torrey, I'm thinking, had a little bit to prove as well, because people are probably thinking, oh, he's probably just coming over here, just signing a deal, trying to get a little extra cash, which maybe he was trying to do that. But he also he gonna say something to me about that, but that's all right. That's my boy. But also he just played the game that way, and that fit the mold of that team. We needed that. We needed that veteran leadership to come in and not be like, oh, well, I'm Torrey Hunter and, I've done I got all these personal things that I've achieved in my career. No, it was like, no, I'm one of the boys. I'm going to hit behind the runner if I have to do that. When you see a veteran do things like that, it's like I'm buying into that, because he believes that that's what it takes to win a game. And he's been around longer than me. He's seen a lot more baseball than I have. So why would I not listen to a potential Hall of Famer when he's been there? He's been there, done that. He understands how to play this game and how to win baseball games. Gleyber is the same way. You can just tell it's not about him. Yes, obviously he wants to prove to people y'all got it wrong. I am a top player in this game, but it's something he's like, I want to show this team though that I'm capable of being that leader that y'all needed. And you can like I said, you can tell that you said it so perfectly, Cody, that he's rubbed off on this team and this team has rubbed off on him because of everybody looks the same. Everybody looks the same. When they're hitting, it's like this guy stayed inside of a fastball that was middle and he didn't try to hit it out. He hits a line drive. You're just seeing all these hard contact line drives everywhere. And nobody's like, it's about me. It's like, no, I did that so the next person can come up and drive me over or drive me in or do what I have to do my job, to help this team win. And that's how Torrey was. Torrey was, he was just, he didn't have this this personal thing that he had to necessarily prove. It was like, I'm here to help this team win ball games. And that rubbed off on me. I was his locker mate while I was there. And I just soaked up so much information about the game on the field, off the field, things that just made me a better human being. And, I believe that that's exactly how he is. And I think that, him being in this position was just what he needed at this time in his career.
Honestly, proven to be maybe perhaps one of the better free agent signings that Scott Harris has had. I mean, the Flaherty one is hard to top because he was a borderline all-star. You get Sweeney, you get Lorenzo in the deal, and then you sign him back. So that's gonna be hard to top. But Gleyber's Gleyber's looking like a really good value as well. All right, let's wrap up here. Speaking of energy, a little, not that the team needed an energy boost, but Akil Baddoo is back. The great energy of Akil Baddoo, a guy that will forever be like a niche fan favorite. Like if it's like one of if you know type guys or whatever, how much fun he was on some teams that, a lot of times weren't that much fun to watch. But he gets to call up Cody. Jace Young goes down, and we had talked about, like, you got a heavy right-handed opposition coming up, and is this the Jace opportunity? Turns out it was not the Jace opportunity, but it is the Akil Baddoo opportunity, who had, let's see if I have it right, I think he had 6 home runs in Toledo this year as he kind of got settled in from that broken bone in his hand. Obviously didn't have a spring training really. But it's nice to see Akil. And what does he do? He makes an exciting play right off the bat. Well, technically right off the glove, with a diving catch in right field there. So what can you tell us about the Tigers' reasoning for bringing up Akil?
Yeah, I think they brought him up here because he was hot. He had 6 homers in Toledo, but 5 of those had come in, I think, like his last 9 games. He was starting to swing it pretty well down there. I mean, you can look in the numbers. The strikeout rate was still close to 30% in Toledo, so that's some reason for concern. I did think the timing was interesting. Like, we all knew Jace was on thin ice. Jace finally had a game where he got a knock, did a couple little things that helped him win the Javi Baez game, and it's a tough business because he's gone the next day. And even asking AJ Hinch, I still don't really know why it was the series finale in Boston as opposed to the day before or the day after. The Tigers must have seen something in the matchups where they wanted him up there for that last game. In Boston, they definitely wanted another left-handed bat. Maybe helping out in the outfield. Kerry Carpenter and Riley Green have played a lot, so bringing up another outfielder can help those guys get off their feet a little bit. Akil's a fan favorite. Akil's a guy it's hard for me not to just root for. But I'll be honest, I wasn't sure we were going to see Akil Baddoo in a Detroit Tigers jersey again. So in a way, it's a testament for him for going down there, doing enough to earn this opportunity and get another shot.
I love his style of play, and we talk about the numbers and things, but it's just something about the energy that this guy can bring to a team. And what I'm hoping to see is that this style of play that the Tigers are currently playing kind of rubs off on him a little bit, and he can just be comfortable and just play baseball and not worry about my swing and this. Just do the things to contribute to the team, because that's what this is looking like. It's looking like, each and every guy that gets an opportunity is buying into this style of baseball that we're talking about. And it really would be nice to see him buy into that. Not that he isn't, but just to start playing that type of baseball, because I think that he can bring a lot of energy, and I believe the Tigers believe that too. His defense, he has good defense. And I think that him giving a few of those guys a blow on their legs is going to be crucial, especially at this time. I know it's early, but they have been playing a lot, and it'd be nice to give a couple guys a blow. But it'd be really nice to see him get hot and show the Tigers that, hey, I'm capable of playing at this level. It takes a little bit longer for guys to just get situated and figure out who they are. Who am I as a player? I know what they say I can do and all these things I need to be doing. I need to hit for power. I need to hit for average. I need to do all of these things. Just play baseball, my man. You are a hell of a baseball player. You go out there and you play this style of baseball it's contagious. It's almost like I just got to be gritty. I would keep saying gritty. I like that. Gritty is just because it's just like you just play hard. You just play the game right, and you don't have to worry. I know this is a numbers-oriented game, but it just seems like if he just buys into the way this team is playing right now, I think we could see him, contribute to what this team is doing right now. I just like saying his name too. It's pretty cool to just say that name, man. That's a very like interesting name that it rolls off the tongue good, right? Akil Baddoo.
It was fun to hear the Yabba Dabba Doo in Comerica
Yabba.
Park again after they play that the Fred
Yeah.
Flintstone after he does
Yeah.
something.
That's how you know
And
you're
hadn't
doing
heard it,
stuff, man.
yeah, in a long time. It was good. Tigers are going to have another big roster decision. Sounds like Matt Vierling will be back. If not in St. Louis, then maybe next week in Cleveland. So would Akil go back down, or would Justin Henry Malloy go down? We'll see. Some of that might depend on the handedness. So maybe Akil has a shot to get a little bit of a longer runway. That's one decision. Jake Rogers is on a rehab assignment, should be on his way back as well. And finally getting some better news with Parker Meadows. He's not quite ready for a rehab assignment, but maybe not too far off. So the reinforcements are coming.
Good problems to have, though, right? These are good
Yeah.
problems, man. This isn't like, man, what are we gonna do? It's like, dude, like we just got so many options right now. Like good problems to have for the Tigers right now.
Yep, reinforcements on the way. That's it's not great news for the rest of baseball. But got rivalry weekend this weekend with the Toronto Blue Jays, and so we will talk after that series. It'll be very interesting to see if they continue rolling. Riley Green low key on a 5-game hit streak, so we'll see if that continues as well. All right, a lot of fun discussions today. Appreciate everybody for listening. Appreciate everybody for following along at Tiger Territory _ on Twitter, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, at Cody Stavenhagen, at Kieran _Steckley, at Austin Jackson. You follow us where you know where to follow us. Follow us, subscribe, and we appreciate all of you guys. So for Austin Jackson, Cody Stavenhagen, I'm Kieran Steckley. Saw it out.
To do that.
There we go. There we go.
To do that.
Have a great day.